This in the inside of the Telegraph, and Ancelotti says Vinicius will not quit Spain. This in the context of the news we're reporting on Sky Sports News. The Royal Spanish Football Federation have ordered the closure of a stand at Valencia's Mestalla Stadium for 5 games following racist chants aimed at Vinicius Jr on Sunday evening. The Mario Kempes South stand will be shut. It's believed the abuse during Valencia's game against Real Madrid came from that part of the ground. Valencia have been fined €45,000. Tom, is that the precedent that's going to convince Vinicius Jr Spain is the place for him?
I suspect he'll need even more than that. It's a relief to hear Carlo Ancelotti saying that he won't be quitting. We don't want to see players being forced out of clubs, forced out of countries, forced out of leagues for any reason, let alone racism. But what Vinicius has done is highlighted just how far behind Spain is in terms of rules, the Spanish law, La Liga's lack of power in introducing sanctions. I mean, Italy had a huge problem and still has a huge problem, but you only have to look last month and Juventus banning 170 fans after the incident involving Romelu Lukaku. We see incidents of racism around Europe regularly, and finally, we're starting to see improvements here and in other places. But as a whole, I don't think football handles racism well enough. I mean, I think me and Jason were both in Bulgaria 4 years ago, and the chanting there for the England game resulted in a 2-match stadium ban. One of those games was suspended until the following year. That kind of precedent is so weak, and it needs to be far higher. The gradual improvements so that you go to stadiums in England now, I think at Stamford Bridge, they've got behind each seat, they have QR codes where fans can very quickly report where racism is happening and who the offender is to identify them quickly. And Italy is using technology as well. But this incident with Vinicius has just highlighted how far behind Spain is.
Does it come down to sanctions, Jason? Is that the sentiment? There's racism in most societies around the world, but is it the lack of action from authorities that's the defining point here? Because Ancelotti pointed out that it's a different situation in England in his press conference.
Yeah, and Carlo spoke very well today about that, saying condemning the situation is not enough. We need further action. And we've seen the action now the Spanish authorities have brought, and it's not enough either. You know, this fine or this stand closure is just not enough. I mean, I feel quite strongly on this, and that it's very difficult for us as, you know, me in particular, as a white middle-aged bloke trying to pontificate on race issues. I really think we've got to ask the players. I think it's now really the time for the players to decide what they want to do. You know, I think Vinicius is a very eloquent young man, you know, a very strong-willed character. He's a real, world superstar. And I would really like to think what he thinks should happen, not just condemning racism, but does he want to walk off? Does he want games to be stopped? Does he want that to happen? And I think it should be for the players to decide, really. I think they should be asked. They should be asked their opinion. And I think the players' unions, FIFPro and so on, should be voicing their opinion and galvanising that opinion. And really, the authorities should listen to the players now. I don't think it's for us to decide, or even the football authorities to decide. I think the players need to decide, because they're the ones who've been racially abused, and it's them who have been affected. So I think they have the right to decide whether they want sanctions or whether they want actions, or what kind of actions they want to take place.
Tom, would you echo that sentiment, that it does come down to the players now?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I was pleased to see Carlo Ancelotti say tonight that he would consider taking players off the pitch if it happened again. That's the players need that kind of support. They need managers like Carlo Ancelotti, who are going to have a measured opinion and understand young men like that and what they want to do. That's what you need. Those are the figures in football that need to be leading this.